from Newsnets and CCTV. It's high school football, coming to you today from Veterans Memorial Stadium. High school sports are brought to you in part by Wolverine Power Cooperative and by Great Lakes Energy. Your local electric cooperative is looking out for you.
Welcome to Veterans Memorial Stadium overlooking Lake Cadillac as Newsnet Sports brings you the Michigan High School Football Game of the Week as it's a battle of unbeatens in the Big North Conference as the TC Central Trojans take on the Cadillac Vikings. I'm Derek Tate, and thank you for joining us for this Michigan High School football action. And if you're a fan of physical football, then you better be ready for this one, because we've got two teams that have a loaded offensive line up front and are averaging 300 yards per game on the ground. But something's got to give, as the TC Central Trojans have scored 102 points through their first two games. However, on the other side, the Cadillac Vikings defense has been stout. They've only allowed 7 points through the first two games in their own right. Now, this has major implications in the Big North Conference, as last year it was the TC Central Trojans with a 41-13 victory over the Cadillac Vikings to clinch their first Big North Conference title since 2016. But with the shortened season because of the coronavirus pandemic, both teams are 2-0 heading into this early season showdown, and it has big-time implications in the Big North Conference. Stay tuned, because we're going to be right back here on Newsnet Sports with the Michigan High School Football Game of the Week.
Doug Glass is ready to make the bathroom of your dreams a reality. Doug Glass is a full-service provider of quality custom shower doors. We offer a wide selection of models, finishes, and glass options. From cast to pattern glass, we can custom build a shower door perfect for your bathroom. Stop in and see the heavy glass displays in our showroom. And remember, Doug Glass also offers puller seal windows and patio doors. We're also your local source for auto glass, from windshields to side and rear windows. Whatever your needs, call or visit Doug Glass today for a free estimate.
Our mission at the Wexford Misaki Career Technical Center is to prepare you for career success. During your junior and senior year, you can explore and train for career options in one of 15 hands-on programs. While you're exploring and training, you can take advantage of free college credits, scholarships, co-op on-the-job training, industry certifications, and career counseling. All of this while you're in high school. Enrollment is easy and free. Are you ready to explore and train for your career at the Wexford Misaki Career Tech Center?
High school sports are brought to you in part by Wolverine Power Cooperative and by Great Lakes Energy. Your local electric cooperative is looking out for you.
From the national anthem and opening kickoff here for the Michigan High School Football Game of the Week between the TC Central Trojans and the Cadillac Vikings. Both teams 2-0 heading into this Big North Conference showdown. I'm Derek Tate, and thank you for joining us. We're going to be throwing it over to the public address announcer for the national anthem here in just a couple moments. But heading into this matchup, last year it was the TC Central Trojans who clinched the Big North Conference with a 41-13 victory, riding what they call the Killer Bees, the combination of Josh Burnham, Austin Bills, and Carson Bordeaux. And look, they're all returning for this year. Bills is a senior. Burnham has been on fire to start the 2020 season. He accounted for 6 total touchdowns in the 53-13 victory over their rivals TC West Titans in the opening week. And then they rolled right over Petoskey 49-20 in week number 2. So they carry a lot of momentum and a high-powered offense heading into this matchup. But one thing that stands out is that the Cadillac Vikings carry a good bit of momentum of their own into this matchup. Not only has the junior quarterback Aiden Gurdon gotten off to a fantastic start, accounting for 4 total touchdowns in a 27-0 victory over the Alpena Wildcats in week number 1, but also the 21-7 victory over the Gaylord Blue Devils just last week, the Vikings have only allowed 7 points in their first 8 quarters played. This defense is flying around, and head coach Cody Mallory said that is exactly what you want to do if you're going to try to slow down Josh Burnham and Austin Bills, because you do not – it's not a recipe for success if Burnham is going to get out in the open field. But for the Cadillac Vikings defense, they've done a great job so far, but they're going to be tested today. And really on the other side for the TC Trojans defense, or TC Central Trojans defense, they really need to try to slow down this option attack for the Cadillac Vikings, because both teams, but the Vikings in particular, have ran the ball for over 300 yards in each of their first 2 games. And the same goes for the TC Central Trojans. They've also been dominant up front. So this is really going to have strength on strength up front. Both teams like their chances and love their offensive line units up front. But we got ourselves a special one here at Veterans Memorial Stadium. So really one of the biggest storylines heading into this one is who will win the battle in the trenches. One other thing, this Cadillac Vikings team has failed to get over the hump against the TC Central Trojans. 0-5 in their last 5 matchups against the Trojans. And last year's loss, again, helped TC Central clinch their first Big North Conference title since 2016. And really, with only a 6-game season and both of these teams sitting atop the Big North Conference at the current moment, this game could decide who ends up taking home the Big North Conference title. So we've got ourselves a special show as we are, again, moments away from the national anthem as we see the Cadillac Vikings announcing their starting units. And this Cadillac Vikings team bringing back a slew of starters on both sides of the football, more so on the offensive line and under center with Aiden Gurdon, who through the season so far, 77 yards passing and a touchdown, along with 242 yards rushing. He is the leading ball carrier, leading yardage total, and 3 touchdowns on the ground is also the tops in that category. But also on the other side of the football, really on both sides, one of the best weapons the Cadillac Vikings boast is Colin Johnston, the junior running back and linebacker. As we're going to go ahead and as teams, the Vikings have finished announcing their starting lineups, and they're going to line up along the sideline. We will now go ahead and throw it over to the public address announcer for the national anthem.
Active and retired military, we encourage you to render the appropriate salute, and everyone able, please stand at attention, placing your hand over your heart as the Cadillac Marching Band, under the direction of Mr. Charlie Rockwell, performs our national anthem.
Beautiful rendition of the national anthem from the Cadillac Marching Band as we are now just mere moments away from opening kickoff. And we've got some keys to victory here heading into this matchup for this Big North Conference showdown here at Veterans Memorial Stadium. For the TC Central Trojans, they got to slow down this rushing attack of the Cadillac Vikings. Head coach Eric Schugers mentioned assignment football and winning the battle up front and matching the physicality of this talented offensive line unit for the Cadillac Vikings. Second, they have to test this Vikings secondary. They've done a good job through the air through the first 2 games. The Vikings have bottled up everything through the air so far in their first 2 matchups. We'll see how they handle a test against this potent Trojans offense. And then the third key to victory for the TC Central Trojans, just give the Killer Bees the ball with some room to operate in the open field. For the Vikings, they have to rally to the football and limit the big plays of Josh Burnham and Austin Bills, who absolutely torched the Vikings last year in the 41-3 loss. So they need to bottle up Burnham and Bills if they want to have a chance to take away the victory here. Number 2, win the battle up front to sustain drives and keep the ball out of the Trojans' hands. And 3, I know the head coach, Cody Mallory, wants to see the Vikings take better care of the football. Last week, 4 lost fumbles in the win versus Gaylord. You can't give this TC Central Trojans extra possessions, as it'll be the Cadillac Vikings who will start with the football to begin the game. In this Vikings offense, they have gotten off to a slow start offensively in their first 2 games. They have not scored a point in the first quarter of either of their first 2 wins. To kick for the Trojans, Austin Sill. Back to receive for the Cadillac Vikings, Colin Johnston and Carter Harsh, as we are underway for the Michigan High School Football Game of the Week. And a heads-up play from Colin Johnston. He allows that kick from Austin Sill to trickle out of bounds. That's an illegal procedure. And the Vikings offense will start with the ball in possession at the 35-yard line. And we get our first look at the junior quarterback, Aiden Gurdon. He's off to a fast start to start the 2020 season. 319 total yards and 4 total touchdowns through the first 2 weeks. Last year, the Trojans were able to bottle up this rushing attack, holding Aiden Gurdon to only 72 yards of total offense. But the game has slowed down for Gurdon. And they're running out of that wing T formation. 1st and 10 from the 35-yard line. Gurdon starting the game through the air. He's going to tuck this one down and run. Makes a man miss. He's got the first down. And that's the way you like to start it if you're Cadillac. Gain of 13 from Aiden Gurdon. Good for a Vikings first down. One of the things that head coach Cody Mallory in his 6th season as the head man for the Cadillac Vikings, he mentioned that Aiden Gurdon, the game has slowed down for him, helping him to read the option, but he's also been very impressed with his accuracy and improvement in arm strength through the air as the Vikings have 1st and 10 from the 48-yard line. Harsh in motion. Give goes to the fullback. Noah Cochran sidesteps 1 tackle, and he's into Trojans territory. Healthy gain of 5. That'll bring up 2nd and 5 for Cadillac. One of the things Coach Mallory mentioned is staying ahead of the sticks. Last year, the Trojans held the Vikings to 2.7 yards per carry, which got them behind the sticks, but a good first carry for Noah Cochran. And the Vikings are in business in TC Central territory, 2nd and 5. Option pitch goes to Colin Johnston around the left edge. Johnston's got the first down, and Cadillac, 2 first downs in 3 plays. And this Cadillac Vikings offense is cooking. And we saw on the defensive end, Josh Burnham flying up for his first tackle of the game. He was the leading tackler last week against Petoskey with 8. Vikings with a 1st and 10 at the Trojans 40. Harsh in motion. And we'll see the Vikings do this frequently on the offensive side. Send a man in motion, trying to tip the hand of the defense. And they reset. 1st and 10 at the 40. And now Cadillac is going to take a timeout. Head coach Cody Mallory doesn't like what he sees, but he's got to like the first 2 first downs and 3 plays. We have a break in the action, so we can go ahead and thank our sponsors for the action of the Michigan High School football Game of the Week here on Newsnet Sports. Brought to you by Great Lakes Energy, Wolverine Power Cooperative, and Doug Glass. And of course, I got to give the shout out. It's a cold night. It's like in the 40s here in early October. My Floridian self is not quite used to it, but my crew is. Director Wyatt Van Dynen, and working 2 cameras down there is one person. That's Sky Perry. She's doing a fantastic job. So all the action you see is thanks to those 2, and I am just the voice that gets to call the action. We resume action. 1st and 10 at the 40-yard line. Cadillac, their first possession, driving into TC Central territory. Gurdon gives Cochran. Cochran, another solid carry. 2 carries for 11 yards. And we saw plenty of that last week. Noah Cochran found pay dirt twice against Gaylord. 2nd and 4 up and coming for Cadillac. Far more efficient are the Cadillac Vikings on the ground to start this contest than they were last season. And they've got a 2nd and 4. Cochran gets the call again, lunging towards the 30-yard line. It looks like he's going to be just short. 2nd tackle of the game from Josh Burnham. And the Vikings are going to be facing their first third down of this showdown of the Big North. And the Vikings offensive line, you'll see them run left behind big old number 76 Ryan Wood and Carson Razio, the center. 3rd and 1 for Cadillac. Cochran on the call. Just enough, falls past the 30-yard line, just inside it. That'll move the sticks for the Vikings. And another first down for Cadillac on this first opening drive. On the season, Noah Cochran entering tonight's contest, 24 carries for 104 yards and 2 touchdowns. We'll add an additional 3 carries for 16 yards to that total as the Vikings are threatening. 1st and 10 just inside the 30-yard line. Gurdon going to the air. He's in trouble. Throws this one up for grabs, and that's intercepted. Carson Bordeaux. His 2nd straight game with an interception, and the Vikings offense stalls. And a big turnover by one of the Killer Bees. Talking to head coach Eric Schruger heading into this matchup, he mentioned that Carson Bordeaux at that free safety spot is the quarterback of the defense. And he's really coming into his own, and it shows as he puts a halt to the Vikings' opening drive. And we get our first look at the TC Central offense, led by the junior quarterback and one of the most dangerous players in all of Michigan football, Josh Burnham. He's working out of the shotgun. Alongside him, the dangerous senior running back, Austin Bills. 1st and 10 for TC Central. Burnham, jet sweep. Carson Bordeaux. Bordeaux cuts it upfield. He's going to be near the sticks before he's finally brought down by Colin Johnston. There's a flag right around the 37-yard line. This may be coming back. And it is holding on TC Central. Not the way you want to start the offensive possession, but an effective first play, getting a touch for Carson Bordeaux. Last week he had an interception, 85 yards to the house. And Aiden Gurdon's first pass attempt is intercepted. Penalty yardage backs him up to the 27-yard line. 1st and 15 for the Trojans. Burnham out of the shotgun. Give goes to Austin Bills around the right edge. Tries to spin off one would-be tackler. Gets back some of the penalty yardage, but brought down. Blake Swiger on the stop. Gain of a long 3. That'll bring up 2nd and 11 for TC Central. And this offense can score points in bunches. He scored 47 unanswered against the Titans. 2nd and 11. Burnham on the quarterback keeper. He's got some room to run. 1st down and more. Burnham to the 40, to the 30. He could go, and he will. Touchdown, TC Central. 71-yard touchdown run by Josh Burnham. And that's exactly what you want if you're the Trojans. Held that mesh on the zone read, and then he took off. Check that. It was 69 yards untouched. And just like that, the Trojans have a 6-0 lead. And the Trojans' offense stays out on the field. 2-point conversion attempt on the way. And we've got a flag on TC Central. It's a delay of game. And I'll back them up 5, so if they still intend to go for the 2-point conversion, they'll have to convert from the 7-yard line. Burnham had 3 rushing touchdowns against this Vikings defense last season. And that's his 3rd rushing touchdown of the year. Here's the 2-point conversion. Burnham rolling left. And he's going to tuck it down and run. He's met by a host of Vikings defenders. He's going to wind up a couple yards short. But the TC Central Trojans get on the board first. And with 7:29 remaining, they take an early lead in this Big North Conference showdown. Trojans lead 6-0 over the Cadillac Vikings. And heading into this matchup against the Trojans, head coach Cody Mallory of the Cadillac Vikings said, quote, "Trying to tackle Burnham in the open field is not a recipe for success." And the first carry of the entire night for Josh Burnham, 69 yards to the house. But if you're the Vikings, you got to be pleased with the efficiency and being able to move the sticks and move the ball effectively on the ground against this Trojans unit. Just an errant throw by Aiden Gurdon, his first interception of the season. And the Trojans offense makes them pay on the other end. Austin Sill back on to kick. His first one went out of bounds for an illegal procedure. Back to receive for Cadillac. The dangerous Colin Johnston and number 12, Carter Harsh. Sill's kick heading towards the sideline and out of bounds again. Consecutive kicks that go out of bounds. Back-to-back illegal procedures, and Cadillac Vikings offense, they'll start another drive at the 35-yard line. And there's a reason why Josh Burnham is drawing attention from just about every Big Ten, or every team in the Big Ten Conference. He'll be playing on Saturdays. No mistake about it. Vikings' first drive stalled and ended on an interception by Carson Bordeaux. They'll try it again. They trail 6-0 with 7:29 remaining in the opening quarter. 1st and 10 from the 35. Gurdon, pitch. Colin Johnson, he's got a lead blocker. Puts his shoulder down and cut down just past the 41, right at the 41-yard line by Carson Bordeaux. Gain of 6. I'll bring up 2nd and 4. Colin Johnston, entering tonight's game, was averaging over 10 yards per carry. Ran for a touchdown in last week's win against Gaylord. Also recorded so far 19 tackles on the season. 2nd and 4 for Cadillac. Cochran on the give. Cochran's got the first down and brought down just shy of midfield. On the stop is Braden Halliday. So the Vikings, with their 4th first down of the evening, and they're in business right near midfield. 1st and 10 for Cadillac. An effective night so far for Aiden Gurdon and the option attack. Cochran off to a great start. Johnston in motion. And that time, that one's going nowhere. Bottled up by Caden Warner. The junior, 6'4", 233, bear hugged Noah Cochran to the ground. Gain of 2, just inside Trojan territory. 2nd and 8 for Cadillac. Johnson in motion. Quick pitch. Carter Harsh around the edge. Harsh with a stiff arm up the right edge. He's got the first down inside the 40-yard line. And a great lead block out there by Colin Johnston. And the Vikings with another first down. Their 5th first down of the opening quarter. That is one of the things that head coach Cody Mallory mentioned about Colin Johnson, is his willingness to get out in front and block. It's not just what he can do when he has the ball in his hands. 1st and 10 from the 41-yard line. Pitch goes to Chris Reinhold, and Reinhold's got some room to run. Cuts it upfield and slung down by Austin Bills. But the sophomore gets acquainted. Gain of 17. Good for another Vikings first down. There is a flag back at the 31-yard line, so this one might be coming back. Right in the area of holding, and that is exactly what happened. So that'll wipe out what is a great run by Chris Reinhold. The penalty yardage will only cost the Vikings 1 yard from the original line of scrimmage. So we got 1st and 11. We'll do it again. Chris Reinhold is an impressive sophomore that has made an impact early in the 2020 season for the Vikings. 1st and 11. Harsh in motion. Gurdon back to pass. Gurdon lets it rip down the field and just out of the reach of Kyle Fauble. And good coverage by the corner on the top of your screen, Michael Buher. Gurdon let that one rip. Had the right idea. Just a little out of the reach of his intended target. Cadillac's taking their shots through the air in the opening quarter. 2nd and 11. Harsh in motion. Quick pitch to Reinhold. Reinhold gets blown up right at the line of scrimmage. Not much doing there. Brought down by Braden Halliday. His 2nd tackle of the opening quarter. A short loss that'll bring up 3rd and a long 11 right at the 4:35 mark remaining in the opening quarter here at Veterans Memorial Stadium. Gurdon under center. Harsh in motion. Back to pass is Gurdon. Gurdon, he's got a screen set up to Noah Cochran, and he's got a convoy inside the 30-yard line, and that one is going to be good for a Cadillac first down. Cody Mallory dials up the old fullback screen, and it works to perfection. Gain of 13. And the Vikings are in business with a 1st and 10 to the 28. Cochran not exactly known for his contributions in the passing game. That's his first reception of the season. But it gives him a first down. Gurdon running the option. Gurdon slips a tackle and then stacked up at the 25-yard line. Aiden Gurdon hasn't tucked it down and ran very much in this one. He's been more distributing and letting the play develop in front of him. And Coach Cody Mallory mentioned how much he's been impressed with how well Gurdon is reading the option to start the season. 4-yard gain from Gurdon brings up 2nd and 6 for the Vikings. Harsh in motion. Gurdon speed option. This one's going nowhere. Dropped in the backfield by Brett Weaver. The interior defensive lineman standing 6'6", 225 as a junior. It's one of the things that's most notable about this Trojans defense. They've got some big old bodies up front. And the Vikings facing another 3rd down. This one 3rd and 6. They need to get to the 18-yard line to extend the drive. Gurdon, pitch. Harsh is in trouble, but stiff arms out of one tackle. He's got the edge and more inside the 15-yard line. That's the second time Carter Harsh has delivered a perfectly timed stiff arm and gotten around the edge. This one extends the drive for Cadillac. 1st and 10 from the 12. And heading into this game, the junior running back Carter Harsh, 9 carries for 81 yards, and he has been busy to start this opening quarter for the Vikings offense. 1st and 10 from the 12. Harsh in motion, give Cochran nowhere to go, and he's dropped immediately. Austin Bills. And you'll notice a lot of stars both ways for this Trojans unit. Burnham plays both ways. Austin Bills plays both ways. Carson Bordeaux plays both ways. The Killer Bees do it on both sides of the football. Gain of 1, 2nd and 9 for the Vikings. Johnston in motion. Pitch goes to Johnston. Ball's on the floor, and it is another turnover in Trojans territory. I'd be shocked if the Vikings somehow recovered that, and they did not. And it is the TC Central Trojans who turn over the Vikings for a 2nd consecutive possession. This time it's Caden Warner who falls on it for TC Central. And that is one of the things that was Cody Mallory wanted to see cleaned up this week. 4 lost fumbles in last week's win, and they lose a crucial one as the Trojans offense is back on the field. 1st and 10 from the 15-yard line. Burnham gives to Austin Bills, and there's not much there. Bills fighting for extra yardage, but he is stacked up. Gain of a couple. Blake Swiger with his 2nd tackle of the game. This Vikings unit has been stout defensively, but they just gave up a 69-yard touchdown to Josh Burnham on the opening drive for the TC Central Trojans. 30 seconds remaining in the opening quarter. 2nd and 8 for the Trojans. Burnham gives. Bills, not much doing. There is a pile of bodies. Jay Ghoulish, number 80 on the stop for Cadillac. Consecutive carries don't garner very much. That one a little bit more effective. And that'll be the final play of the first quarter, unless they get one off quickly, and they will not. They tried, but failed, as the Traverse City Central Trojans will take a 6-0 advantage to the second quarter against the Cadillac Vikings here at Veterans Memorial Stadium. Stay tuned as we have second quarter action here on Newsnet Sports.
Doug Glass is ready to make the bathroom of your dreams a reality. Doug Glass is a full-service provider of quality custom shower doors. We offer a wide selection of models, finishes, and glass options. From cast to pattern glass, we can custom build a shower door perfect for your bathroom. Stop in and see the heavy glass displays in our showroom. And remember, Doug Glass also offers puller seal windows and patio doors. We're also your local source for auto glass, from windshields to side and rear windows. Whatever are your needs, call or visit Doug Glass today for a free estimate.
Our mission at the Wexford Misaki Career Technical Center is to prepare you for career success. During your junior and senior year, you can explore and train for career options in one of 15 hands-on programs. While you're exploring and training, you can take advantage of free college credits, scholarships, co-op on-the-job training, industry certifications, and career counseling. All of this while you're in high school. Enrollment is easy and free. Are you ready to explore and train for your career at the Wexford Misaki Career Tech Center?
High school sports are brought to you in part by Wolverine Power Cooperative and by Great Lakes Energy. Your local electric cooperative is looking out for you.
Welcome back to Veterans Memorial Stadium. Second quarter just about to begin as the TC Central Trojans lead the Cadillac Vikings 6-0 on your Michigan High School Football Game of the Week. I'm Derek Tate. We've got 3rd and 4 for TC Central. And it's a direct snap and a first down and a little bit more for Austin Bills, who's still going, running through would-be tacklers, finally dragged down at the 43-yard line. And Austin Bills is more than capable of tuning up any defense on the ground. Heading into this matchup, had 248 yards rushing. And that'll be good for a first down for the Trojans. Burnham, lead blocking. Bills in trouble, spins out of one tackle, but the Vikings rally to the football. No gain on the play. Looks like Swiger yet again. This Trojans offense is so potent. One thing that head coach Cody Mallory mentioned was pursuit, pursuit, pursuit. 2nd and 10 for the Trojans. Burnham rolling right. Looking to throw, and he's going to let this one rip deep down the field and just out of the reach of the extended arm of Carson Bordeaux. And Burnham nearly had a 57-yard touchdown connection. Just couldn't quite get it to Carson Bordeaux. Carter Harsh may have exhaled after that one, but it'll bring up 3rd and 10. And this will be the first 3rd down. 3rd and long, perhaps. The Trojans will be facing tonight. Bunch formation to the top of your screen. Burnham out of the shotgun. Burnham with time. Flushed out of the pocket. He's going to tuck this one down and run. He's got the first down into Vikings territory and dragged out of bounds by Carter Harsh. But there is a flag back at the 34-yard line in Trojan territory. It's one of the most difficult things about trying to guard a mobile quarterback. And it is holding on TC Central. This one will come back. But even if you have everything covered downfield, That trump card is just Burnham tucking it down and running. And it looks like that flag is thrown at the 34-yard line, 10 yards from the spot of the foul, and we've got third and a small plane ride. To be exact, 3rd and 27 for TC Central. We saw Burnham almost connect with Carson Bordeaux earlier on this drive. Burnham needs to get the Trojans to the 47 to extend the drive. Burnham with time. Slips out of one would-be sack. He's going to cut it back, and he's got some running room at the 35-yard line. The referee goes down. Burnham's still going. He coughs it up. And on the ball right around the 47. And somehow, with 5 Vikings on top of him, Carson Hall falls on it for the Trojans. Burnham able to break 2 or 3 tackles, 4 if you count the referee. And that'll bring up 4th and 7 for TC Central. Hall in motion. And they're going to reset. Josh Burnham, Bills, moves to his left side. 4th and 7, Burnham bails out, and it looks like it's going to be a quick punt, and it is. No one back to receive, and the Vikings say just stay away from it, and they do. It's down to the 28-yard line. So the Vikings defense stands tall and forces this potent Trojans offense to punt. And right now, if you're the Cadillac Vikings, you have to feel encouraged by how well you've moved the ball. Just 2 crucial mistakes, 2 turnovers in Trojans territory in the first quarter. And that's how we're at 6-0. Josh Burnham with a 69-yard touchdown run. Gurdon's first pass of the night was intercepted by Carson Bordeaux on the opening drive. And then a fumble recovery on a botched pitch to Colin Johnston. It was Caden Warner who fell on it to end the final drive. Here gives a counter to Colin Johnson around the left edge. She is dropped right around the 32-yard line. Gain of a long 2. 2nd and 8 for Cadillac. Cadillac offense methodically moving the ball down the field. They had 6 first downs in the opening quarter. Gurdon under center, Harsh in motion. Gurdon on the keeper. Gurdon's got some room to run and could not quite break out of the tackle, but he did drag a defender just far enough. Gain of 10, and that's another first down for the Vikings. Aiden Gurdon was trying to shake Caden Warner, who was holding on for dear life, tried to lasso him down. Held on long enough for the Cavalry to come in and finish him off. 1st and 10 for the Vikings at the 43-yard line. Gurdon back to pass. He's going to tuck this one down and run. He's got some room to run, and he's got the first down into Trojans territory. Aiden Gurdon with 2 consecutive carries of 10 or more yards. And the Vikings, on their 3rd possession of the game, are in Trojan territory for the 3rd straight drive. Trojans leading 6-0 over the Vikings. And Cadillac with a 3rd drive that is now in TC Central territory. 1st and 10 from the 46. Johnston in motion. Gurdon on the keeper. Gurdon still going, and he's starting to get going as Aiden Gurdon. 39 yards on the last 3 carries from Aiden Gurdon. And a third consecutive first down for the Vikings offense. Aiden Gurdon proving why he's the leading rusher for this Vikings offense through the first 2 weeks. And the Vikings are in business. 1st and 10 from the 33. Harsh in motion. Gurdon gives Cochran. And he's snacked up, trying to gain yardage into the teeth of that TC Central defense. Josh Burnham on the stop. Burnham's, I've got him for his 4th tackle of this first half. Time of possession exponentially in the favor of the Cadillac Vikings. And this will be their 3rd trip inside the 30 as we've got 2nd and 7. Harsh in motion. Give. Cochran. Not much doing again for Cochran. It's been a busy night for Caden Warner, who's recovered a fumble, and that's his 3rd tackle of this first half. Gain of a couple. That'll bring up 3rd and 5 for the Vikings. And the Vikings have been effective on 3rd downs. Mixing it up. Throwing the ball a little bit more than we're accustomed to here in Cadillac. 3rd and 5 for the Vikings. Gurdon gives. Cochran's got the first down and more. He's got his legs cut out from underneath of him. And a little bit of extracurricular activities as Carson Hall stops him dead in his tracks, but that's a gain of 9. First down, Vikings. And a 2nd straight drive that is now in the red zone for the Vikings. A touchdown and an extra point, and the Vikings could find themselves in the lead. First drive ended with Carson Bordeaux, his 3rd interception of the season. And Caden Warner fell on a botched pitch to Colin Johnston. And a 3-receiver set on 1st and 10 for Cadillac. Cochran gets the call. Not much doing. A little window dressing with the motion from Chris Reinhold. But ultimately it was just a fullback dive that garnered 1 yard. As we approach the 5-minute mark remaining in the first half, Vikings trail 6-0 against the TC Central Trojans in this battle for supremacy in the Big North Conference. Gurdon under center for 2nd and 10. Option left. Pitch goes to Chris Reinhold. And Reinhold is blown up in the backfield. Austin Bills, the senior running back and linebacker, read that one from the get-go. Loss of 3, bringing up 3rd and 13 for the Vikings. And for a team that's built on running the option, grinding out games, 3rd and 13s are generally not where you want to be if you're Cadillac, but we'll see what Aiden Gurdon can do if they elect to go to the air. Gurdon under center for 3rd and 13. Play action. Gurdon back to pass. Looking for Colin Johnston. Hold in. Did he get a foot in? Yes, he did. What a throw to Colin Johnston. A little toe drag swag from the junior. And we got a goal-to-go situation for Cadillac. "19-yard connection. What a throw from Gurdon. 1st and goal from the 4-yard line. Vikings looking to tie it up. Gurdon gives Cochran to the right side, and he may lose one. Brought down right at the line of scrimmage by Cole Allen. the senior defensive end, standing 6'3", 210. They were unable to move him off the spot. That'll bring up 2nd and goal from the 5-yard line. Gurdon under center. Reinhold motions. Vikings reset. Gurdon under center. 2nd and goal. Looking to tie this one up. Gurdon, pitch. Reinhold around the right edge. And good pursuit from the TC Central Trojans. On the stop, Gavin Graysick. And another 6-footer that weighs more than 220 pounds. The junior, good pursuit. Strung that one out to the near side. And the Vikings have lost a yard on consecutive goal-to-go plays. And now have a 3rd and goal from the 6. Gurdon rolling left. He's got Colin Hess. Hess can't haul it in. And it looked like for a moment that he had Colin Hess in the flats, but he was unable to haul it in. And now it's decision time for Cody Mowry. Do you try to send in the unit to kick a field goal to cut the deficit in half? And it does appear that the Vikings will attempt what will be a 22-yard field goal. And the Vikings are going to take a timeout. A little bit of miscommunication and confusion with the unit to kick. And we've had ourselves a heck of a Michigan high school football game of the week here on Newsnet Sports. While we have a moment here in the second quarter, let's go ahead and thank our sponsors for tonight's contest. Great Lakes Energy, Wolverine Power Cooperative, and Doug Glass, your window shop specialist. And of course, the crew. Can't do it without the crew, the director, Wyatt Van Dynen, and our camerawoman, Sky Perry, down there working 2 different cameras at the same time and braving the elements as we have ourselves a sub-50-degree night here in early October. Out looking Lake Cadillac, and the Vikings, for the 3rd straight possession, have driven into Trojans territory, but for the 3rd straight time, they are going to be unable to find pay dirt. But it's Colin Hess on to attempt a 22-yard field goal to cut the deficit in half. Snap, kick is up, and it splits the uprights as the Cadillac Vikings, with 2:42 remaining in the first half, they get on the board. They still trail the TC Central Trojans by a score of 6-3. And if you're just now joining us, I can go ahead and catch you up on the action. In the first quarter, the Vikings had 2 separate drives stall with turnovers. An interception from Carson Bordeaux of a Aiden Gurdon pass, and then a fumble that will go in the books on the box score on Aiden Gurdon's count, but it was a botched pitch handle by Colin Johnston, and then Caden Warner fell on it. And then a 69-yard touchdown run from Josh Burnham. And that's how we've arrived at 6-3 after a 22-yard field goal from Colin Hess. But one thing we've got is 3 timeouts for TC Central and a slew of explosive playmakers for the Trojans offense. Colin has to kick off. And Hess's kick taken right at the 19-yard line by Carson Hall. Hall trying to work his way out of a tackle and does, but finally stacked up right around the 35-yard line. 2:34 remaining in the first half. A full slate of timeouts for Josh Burnham and the TC Central offense. We saw the Trojans drop 47 points in the first half against the TC West Titans. Not against this Vikings defense. First down, Austin Bills around the right edge. Bills cuts it upfield and dragged down just shy of the first down marker. He's going to be a couple shy. So Luke Enyart on the stop. And TC Central in the no huddle. Burnham. He's going to operate out of the shotgun with Bills to his left. Burnham. Going to keep it himself this time. Cuts it upfield. He's got the first down just past the 45-yard line. Clock will stop at 2:08. Colin Johnston on the stop. The leading tackler for the Vikings. There just haven't been many opportunities to add to his leading tackle total, as the Trojans offense hasn't been on the field very much in the first half. But they've got a 1st and 10 at the 46-yard line. 1:50 remaining. Bills around the right edge. Stiff arms one would-be tackler and dragged down inbounds by Carter Harsh, just shy of midfield. Trojans electing not to use any timeouts. 1:30 remaining. And Burnham looks like he's in control. Austin Bills to his left, and we've got 2nd and 7 for TC Central. Burnham gives around Carson Hall, and he is on his high horse. A little giddy up around the right edge. And he's pushing deeper into Cadillac territory. 1st and 10 at the 36-yard line. 3 timeouts still remaining. Burnham trying to see if they can add to their 3-point advantage. Burnham back to pass. Looking to the flats. He's got his man Carson Hall. And he is stuck. Jake and Metzger coming up and laying the wood on Carson Hall, but they will spend their first time out, will the Trojans. And you're getting an idea of just how explosive this TC Central offense can be, as they have marched deep into Vikings territory in the blink of an eye. And we have certainly taken a different... This has played out quite differently than how it did last year when the TC Central Trojans clinched the Big North Conference title in a 41-13 victory over these Cadillac Vikings. They just haven't had the ball very much. 69-yard touchdown run by Josh Burnham on their first possession. And then the second one stalled out. Forced a punt. Vikings drove it down the field and got on the board with a 22-yard field goal from Colin Hess. But the Trojans have an opportunity. With 2 timeouts, 49 seconds at the 27-yard line to try to add to that lead. They will get the ball to start the second half, so this is an important possession for both ball clubs. Here we go. 2nd and 1 from the 27-yard line. 49 seconds remaining. Burnham out of the shotgun. Man in motion. Burnham gives court draw to Austin Bills, who sidesteps one would-be tackler. Bills cuts it upfield, and he is gang tackled right around the 10-yard line. Clock will stop while the chains move and reset. Vikings trying to hold on and keep the Trojans out of the end zone. But Austin Bills is coming. 1st and 10 at the 12-yard line. 30 seconds remaining. Man in motion. Burnham rolling right. Looking. Now he's going to tuck it down and run. Burnham puts his shoulder down. Colin Johnston able to drag him out of bounds. 18 seconds remaining in the first half. And boy, you can get an idea of just how much of a handful Josh Burnham is once he decides to tuck that one down and run. You have a ton of Vikings defenders making business decisions. They want to get in his way or not, but they're up to the challenge. .18 seconds remaining. 2nd and 4 from the 5-yard line. Trojans can get a first down without scoring. give Austin Bills direct snap into the teeth of that Vikings defense, but he is going to be brought down shy of the goal line, but right at the 1. And there, the clock stops while the chains reset. I'm assuming they're going to take a timeout. Yep, TC Central does take one of their 2 remaining timeouts. With 11 seconds left, but with a timeout still in their back pocket, the Trojans have the entire playbook available to them. And we're going to see the strength of both teams likely on display. Both teams heading into this game averaging 300 yards rushing per game, and a lot of that had to do with both units up front. We're going to see bigs on bigs likely right here. It's either going to be Burnham or Austin Bills, or we'll see if head coach Eric Schuger decides to dial up another one of the talented skill players to try to punch it in from the 1-yard line. And the Trojans get the ball at halftime, so a score here would be potentially tough to overcome for the Vikings. 1st and goal from the 1-yard line. Burnham out of the shotgun. Burnham, quarterback keeper, plunging into the end zone. Touchdown, TC Central. Josh Burnham with his 2nd rushing touchdown of the night. And the Trojans lead 12-3 with 9 seconds remaining in the first half. And when you can run that quarterback power, you have that extra blocker used, Austin Bills, to lead the way. And Burnham's a handful. Trojans going for 2. Snap goes to Austin Bills. Bills. And they're going to have them stacked up, and for the second attempt of the night for a 2-point conversion, the Trojans will fail to get in, but they still have a lead and a important touchdown right before the end of the first half as the TC Central Trojans lead the Cadillac Vikings 12-3. And for Josh Burnham, that is his 4th rushing touchdown of the season. It's been a story of missed opportunities for the Vikings. One thing head coach Cody Mallory mentioned heading into this matchup was trying to clean up the turnovers. If you give this team extra possessions, you make the Trojans even that much tougher to try to beat. For the Trojans, a fantastic drive led by Josh Burnham and Austin Bills to take a 2-score lead into halftime, unless we see some fireworks here in the last 9 seconds. Austin Sill to kick off for TC Central. And this one will stay in the field of play, taken by Chris Reinhold at the 25-yard line. Reinhold. And there is a flag thrown right around the 35-yard line. Reinhold couldn't quite shake the tackler. I believe it was Alex Schmidt, the senior, who was able to drag him down. And the Vikings, is going to be a block in the back. And Cadillac can either try to run one play and see if they pop a big one, or take a knee and head to the halftime break, trailing by 9. The Vikings have seen every single one of their possessions, minus this one, go into Trojans territory. If you're the Trojans defense, the one guy you want to keep an eye on that can absolutely boot, scoot, and boogie is Colin Johnston, number 40 of the Vikings. And we see the Trojans, 4 defenders deep. Harsh in motion. Gurdon going to throw it. Looking down the middle of the field. He's got Colin Johnston open, but unable to get a hold of that one. And that'll bring us to the end of the first half of our Michigan High School football game of the week. And this showdown in the Big North Conference has not disappointed, as the TC Central Trojans will take a 12-3 advantage over the Cadillac Vikings into the second half. Stay tuned. We'll be right back here on Newsnet Sports.
Doug Glass is ready to make the bathroom of your dreams a reality. Doug Glass is a full-service provider of quality custom shower doors. We offer a wide selection of models, finishes, and glass options. From cast to pattern glass, we can custom build a shower door perfect for your bathroom. Stop in and see the heavy glass displays in our showroom. And remember, Doug Glass also offers puller seal windows and patio doors. We're also your local source for auto glass, from windshields to side and rear windows. Whatever are your needs, call or visit Doug Glass today for a free estimate.
Our mission at the Wexford Misaki Career Technical Center is to prepare you for career success. During your junior and senior year, you can explore and train for career options in one of 15 hands-on programs. While you're exploring and training, you can take advantage of free college credits, scholarships, co-op on-the-job training, industry certifications, and career counseling. All of this while you're in high school. Enrollment is easy and free. Are you ready to explore and train for your career at the Wexford Misaki Career Tech Center?
High school sports are brought to you in part by Wolverine Power Cooperative and by Great Lakes Energy. Your local electric cooperative is looking out for you.
Welcome back to Veterans Memorial Stadium. We are at halftime of our Michigan High School football game of the week here on Newsnet Sports. I'm Derek Tate, as the TC Central Trojans have the 12-3 lead over the Cadillac Vikings in the Big North Conference. And we talked about pregame some of the keys to victories for both teams. Here's the scoring summary through the first two quarters. Again, the Cadillac Vikings, for a third consecutive game, were unable to score in the first quarter. One of the big reasons why: they turned the football over on two consecutive possessions deep in TC Central territory. First, it was an interception thrown by Aiden Gurdon, his first of the year, picked off by Carson Bordeaux for his third pick of the season, and then a fumble on a pitch to Colin Johnston, which was recovered by Caden Warner. And really, the one possession of the entire first quarter for the TC Central Trojans, Josh Barnum, 69 yards to the house. And one of the things we mentioned was giving these killer bees some room to operate in space. And we saw what can happen if Burnham gets that space. Explosive player. In the second quarter, though, the Vikings were able to cut that deficit in half with a 22-yard field goal. They did have a first and goal at the 4-yard line. Unfortunately, two consecutive carries, lost a yard, and then an attempt from Aiden Gurdon to Colin Hess. They were not able to connect in the end zone. They settled for a 22-yard field goal. But then to close the half, a backbreaker for the Vikings potentially, Josh Burnham took them the length of the field and then punched it in from the 1-yard line. They went 0 for 2 for two-point conversions, and that's how we've arrived at 12-3 as the halftime score. So stay tuned. We've got second half action for this Michigan High School football game of the week here on Newsnet Sports. We'll be right back.